Good day everyone, my name is Jacob Mistabano and I'm from section St. Joseph. For this video, we will talk about the three laws of matter. Second, how the basic law of matter led to the discovery of Dalton's atomic theory. And lastly, John Dalton's atomic theory. First, the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass states that mass in an isolated system is neither created nor destroyed by chemical reactions or physical transformations. According to the law of conservation of mass, the mass of the product in a chemical reaction must equal the mass of reactants. Reactants any of the participant present at the start of a chemical reaction. Also, a molecule before it undergoes a chemical change, law of conservation of mass. A law that states that mass cannot be created or destroyed because it is merely rearranged. Product chemical substance form as a result of chemical reaction. For example, the carbon atom in a coal becomes carbon dioxide when it's burned. The carbon atom changes from a solid structure to a gas, but the mass does not change. Second, the law of constant composition. It was discovered by Joseph Proust. It is also known as the law of definite proportions. It is different from the law of multiple proportions, although both stem from Lavoisier's law of conservation of mass. The law of constant composition says that in any particular chemical compound, all samples of the compound will be made up of the same elements in the same proportion of ratio. Joseph Proust was a French chemist best known for his analytical abilities. He was once recommended for a job as a chemistry professor at Segovia's Royal Artillery School by none other than Antoine Lavoisier. His experiments with organic binary compounds, mostly sulfates, sulfides, and metallic oxides, led him to formulate the law of constant composition. The law was first published in a paper on iron oxide in 1794. And lastly, the law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion states that when two elements combine to form more than one compound, the mass of one element which combines with the fixed mass of the other element will always be ratios of whole numbers. For example, let us assume two molecules, carbon monoxide, CO, and carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon monoxide is equal to 12 grams of carbon and 16 grams of oxygen, while carbon dioxide is equal to 12 grams of carbon and 30 grams of oxygen. The ratio of the mass of oxygen in the given two compounds is 16 and 32. 32 is equal to 1 and 2. Therefore, law of multiple proportions is proved. Second question. How the basic laws of matter led to the discovery of Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory of matter was developed in an attempt to explain the law of conservation of mass, law of definite proportion, and law of multiple proportions. Or in other words, the reason why Dalton's atomic theory discovered it is because of these three laws, which is the law of conservation of mass, the law of definite proportion, and lastly, the law of multiple proportions. Now, let's proceed to the third question about what is John Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory was the first complete attempt to describe all matters in terms of atoms and their properties. Dalton based his theory on the law of conservation of mass and law of constant composition. The first part of his theory states that all matter is made of atoms, which are indivisible. The second part of the theory says all atoms of a given element are identical in mass and properties. The third part says compound are combination of two or more different types of atoms. The fourth part of the theory states that a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of the atoms. In a summary, Dalton's atomic theory proposed that all matter was composed of atoms, indivisible and indestructible building blocks. While all atoms of an element were identical, different elements had atoms of differing size and mass.